In 2006, a dynamic dance duo formed to take on the world. This Anglo-Australian partnership promptly traveled the globe, learning from the masters of dance. If no one else has the answers, and if you can find them, maybe you should get in touch with Dizzy Feet.
If you've got the questions,
we've got the answers. And good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm going to turn that away because we keep looking at that thinking it's on, but it's not.
We're looking at that one.
Yeah, we're looking at this one.
I get confused.
It's good evening from me, everybody.
It's good evening from him.
It is. I'm just doing this. It just took forever. I was trying to set up a live share and it didn't work. So hopefully people can hear us. I've sorted out the microphone issue, hopefully. So please do let us know if there's a problem with the microphone. It's dangling in the air over here now, which is quite fancy, isn't it?
You bought a thing.
Yeah, I bought an arm.
It's like a crane.
It's like a crane.
It's turning into a proper little studio.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cheap. It was very cheap.
It's even got one of those little circular things on the front of it.
You could pull it out a little bit if you want to show them, so they'll see a bit if you want to.
Right. No.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure they understand.
I didn't press post, which was very frustrating.
I feel like I'm in a radio station.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good.
Fancy.
Good. So good evening, everyone.
Very little volume, your mum says.
Very little volume.
Is that great big circular thing in front of the microphone?
No. That's a diffuser. That's diffuser stuff. So I'm just going to adjust it. I can't remember which one's which. I have to get up and over the evening now. Over the evening? What am I talking about? Over the back.
What? Buddy's here as well.
Right, I've increased the gain. Maybe you want to turn your volume up, Mother, if it's a bit quiet. So please do let us know about the volume, because obviously we want to make sure this is correct. I did do a test the other day, but I did a test to myself, so I don't know whether it worked or not. We're not quite so dark this week either.
No, we're not, are we? What's changed there then?
Well, when we plug this camera in into the computer with that cable, we have to have it in manual mode. It's not automatic.
Right.
So when you're in manual mode, you have to, as you know, on one of those sort of cameras, you have to do your own settings.
Yes.
Well, the ISO was too low, so I've adjusted the ISO.
Okay.
Which means that we're looking a little bit more
brighter.
Maybe, Mother, because Mum says she can only get to 100%. Maybe you're going a little bit deaf, or maybe you need to turn the telly down. Perhaps, I don't know. Or it might be an issue with your computer, Mother, but it seems everyone else can hear us okay.
Cheers.
So, cheers everyone.
Happy Friday nights. Happy to another week gone.
Yeah. Good evening, Ray. You've got that right. Good evening, the boss and Kelly. Yeah.
The boss and Kelly.
Correct answer. Or unless you're talking to Buddy. Unless you're talking to Buddy and Kelly and not me.
No.
That's all. He's buried himself under those pillows, hasn't he?
Buddy's digging the cushions again.
Yes. So tonight is a little bit of a break away from the norm when we've not got a dance video for you to watch. Basically because I've run out of things to tell you.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't. No, of course not.
You just thought you'd do something different to break it up a bit.
Yes. Oh, Margaret can hear it as well, so it must be okay for Margaret. Okay. Yeah. So we thought we'd just do something different, and so tonight we've done a makeup video for you. So Kelly's done that.
Yeah.
So Kelly has.
So sorry, fellas. Sorry.
Well, I think it's still relevant to a certain degree.
Yeah, but
ish,
it might
maybe.
not be so interesting.
Maybe not. We do certainly have more women watchers than male, so the demographic is definitely skewed
just
towards
that some
female
ladies
anyway.
expressed the interest, didn't they? So
they did.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. And Kelly's very professional. She knows what she's talking about. She's done courses and stuff, so she's a qualified makeup artist.
Yeah, but I'm not an expert though, because it's not like dancing where I've danced all my life. I've done a little bit of makeup in comparison.
Yeah.
So I'm not claiming to be a know-it-all. So
no.
Yeah.
Unlike you claim to be a know-it-all in dance.
No, I don't claim that either. but I'm more comfortable talking about dancing than makeup, that's for sure. But anyway, makeup's just a little bit different. Yeah, and I have been using it all my life.
So we are. Oh, someone else is saying we're quiet. Well, the microphone is slightly further away than normal, but I don't know why I'd be any quieter. Because they've said that we're quieter. Who else has said we're quieter?
You're quieter than usual.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to adjust something else, darling.
Well, I have.
What about, is it in the software?
No, it's not in the software. It's on the microphone. It's the gain on this, perhaps. So it's got upside down now. You see.
So you don't know what you're doing.
No.
Sorry. He's adjusting the gain.
Ah, hang on.
Is that better?
Right, I've turned the gain up.
Is
So
that better?
let's see if that's any different. So if I go back to here now, when we're talking, see, that's moving into the yellow section. So when that moves into the yellow section, we know that we're talking quite loudly.
Loud.
If it hits the red, it means it's too loud.
Okay, so we don't want to be in the red. So what if it's in the green?
If it's in the green, it's good.
Okay.
So the top of the green is good. In the yellow, it's bordering. So hopefully that's better.
Much louder, Sarah says.
Okay, so you might want to turn yourselves down. Then I adjusted the gain. It was the gain that
Just in
needed to be
case.
adjusted. So there we go. I turned it the wrong way a moment ago. That's probably why we went quieter. Obviously, it's good that Kelly's closer to the microphone because she's not as loud as me.
No, I don't shout like you.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, so there we go. And these cocktails are lasting us a long time. Yes, they are, because we are drinking them sparingly. But there was quite a few in the box. So, well, you can turn this... If we're too loud now, microphone?
Microphone.
Margaret, microphone. Easily done. If we're too loud, microphone, you can turn your Margaret down.
I've been getting my words mixed up this week, haven't I? I can't remember what it was I said.
I've-
I said things the other way around.
I feel as though...
On 2 occasions that I can think of.
I do feel as though I've kind of gone through the stage of... A problematic stage, and I've come out the other side, but I'm now actually a bit mental. I feel like I'm going a bit mental.
Yeah, me too. I think I was talking about Buddy, and I was talking about him having to go outside for a wee and a poo.
You said peas and woos.
Peas and woos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said he needs to go out for peas and woos.
Well, that's a normal sort of slip that most people could do.
I don't talk like that. That's not
No,
how
you
I
talk like
speak.
an Australian,
I do.
going up the end of your sentences.
We had a discussion about
We
that
did,
today.
yeah. Kelly had to have a little bit of media training when we were doing the video recording. Of
I
course.
don't like it.
She doesn't like it.
I
very
don't
much.
like being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Don't like
I
it.
won't tell you the word I had to tell her, or the thought that she had to have to perform in the right way in front of the camera. It's
It
not.
doesn't
It's not a
even look
word.
like-
It's
it
not.
doesn't
It's not a
even-
family
It
word.
doesn't even look like I'm performing. Does
No,
it?
no. It's still very subdued, isn't it?
I am so dull.
Yeah.
And I've
Quiet.
come to realise that I sound quite miserable most of the time, so there you go.
Yeah.
It's not deliberate, I promise.
No, well, I know. But good news is we are able to teach private lessons from the 12th, so that's confirmed now with the gym, and so we can start. So I've been in contact with a lot of you today to sort those lessons out. So one-to-one lessons can restart.
So from
Couples
12th,
can
12th
restart.
of April we can start doing
Yeah.
bits and bobs. From the 17th we can start doing classes.
17th, well, that's provisional still.
Okay.
Well, the 12th is still provisional because I think on the 29th they're going to say yes to the next level, but
Right.
I'm booking stuff in because I need to. I'm going insane.
Mm.
Yeah. So if you haven't booked yet and you want to, get in touch with whoever your teacher is. But we've got a lovely space. If you don't have lessons with us, you can come and have lessons with us. We've got a lovely big space in Fareham. The other venues, I know some people wanted lessons in our Millbrook venue. We haven't had any confirmations yet on that. So Fareham is all good to go. Millbrook, we're not sure yet still. So waiting to hear back, unfortunately. Anyway, questions. Ask us questions.
Yeah. You can ask us any dance.
Yeah, we need dance-related questions because we've got to have a
we
little
can
chat
still talk
about
about
stuff.
dancing tonight, even though we've got a makeup
Yeah,
tutorial.
yeah. Well, I'm sure there'll be some questions after the video.
Yes.
Won't there, Kel?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Apparently, you're a cool, mysterious lady, Kelly.
Why?
No, that's what Lou said.
That's
That's quite a mysterious comment.
you're a cool. That's a pretty cool compliment. I like that. Yeah, I've never been called that before, so thank you very much.
And we are competing with Comic Relief tonight. But I mean, if
We
you're
are.
not watching us on your telly, you can have your telly on. But that's all full of nonsense celebrities anyway, really. That are all full of themselves and a load of nonsense, really. Celebrities' old hat. Celebrities so 2020. 2021's all about yourselves.
It's about the common people.
Yeah, we're not common people.
You know what I mean.
Don't use that word. Not common
Common.
people. None of us are common.
Well, we're all collective.
We're a collective. Yeah, it's all about humanity.
The collective.
It's all about our own positive energies and not about silly celebrities who haven't got a clue what real life is. There you go.
Well,
Said it.
You're getting a little bit antsy.
I
aren't
have
you?
been getting a little bit political recently
Yeah,
as well.
you
I'm
are.
not normally very political
Calm
at
down,
all.
dear.
Yeah, just upsets me. It's nonsense.
all right,
the
Petal.
world is a nonsense.
It's all right, Petal.
I need a bit more cocktail. Oh, I told Kelly tonight as well. It was a bombshell for Kelly. We are going to run a comp
Yes.
in July. We're going to try to run a competition in July. So there we go.
A
one-day
basic one.
event. A
A
basic event.
one.
All the details will coming out next week. It'll be provisional, of course. All of these things are provisional. But if you want to take part, it'll be normal comps, so open comps for all levels. Not all levels, all ages. Not necessarily all levels, because you can't do that in one day. And we'll do some pro-am events as well. Teacher-student stroke pro-am events. So those of you that dance with your partners can have a go as well. Just a great chance to get out and have a dance. So we'll do that one-day event at the Hilton in Southampton. So they're hassling me to confirm a date. So we're going to confirm that. It's in July, hopefully. So it may well be, will be, if the Bournemouth Festival happens in July, the UK closed, it'll be before that.
Before. When does that normally
that's
run?
the last
That's
weekend.
the end,
normally.
isn't
Well,
it?
normally it's second to last weekend. Normally.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll wait and see about that. If that happens at all, I don't know. But who knows? Who knows? So the idea is just really to give you all a
4
chance to go out
months.
and dance.
4 months to get fit again.
Yeah.
Lose the old lockdown loads.
Lockdown loads. Is that what it's called?
It's my lockdown loads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, there will be no dinner or anything like that. It'll just be a spectator event. You can come along and watch. There'll be no dinners and that sort of thing like the Britannia. Not that fancy.
Just rock up.
We
and
won't
dance.
even have
Just
fancy
rock,
lights.
Just rock up and dance.
Yeah, it won't
basically.
even fancy lights. It'll just literally be the house lights and a dance floor, and lots of smiles and dancing. That's all it's going to be about. Yeah.
If it's allowed, we could perhaps have some sort of party-esque thing, couldn't we?
When?
On that day.
Party?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
At the end of it.
If it's, well,
If we started early and finished a bit earlier, well, that'd be good, wouldn't
don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Kat. No, because the people I've spoken to, which has convinced me to run this comp, I just think that we're going to have too many people there to dance, and it's literally just going to be a dance marathon all day.
Okay.
We can have a party the day after somewhere else. It's too expensive to hire
True.
the Hilton for another
True.
day, and they're not going to forego their fee. They're still going to want to be
No,
paid.
they haven't had any money either coming in, haven't they? So not the same anyway.
Yeah.
So.
So Sigrid says, "Did I ever find a partner for her?" No, not yet. Not yet. Well, we're still looking, Sigrid. We're still looking. But who knows? Who knows? We'll see what. Well, I'll see what I can come up with. Margaret can't think of a dance question, so how about sharing your favourite joke? This isn't a comedy hour, Margaret. This is all about dance and the education
comic
of you.
relief.
Your dance education. What do you call a donkey with 3 legs?
My dad told me a joke the other day. I can't remember it.
You've just spoilt it.
Sorry, a wonky.
Thank you very much.
It's not very
I
bad.
do like that joke. I'm not a joke teller, really.
We got Ella to tell that one. It's quite nice.
I'm not a joke teller. I'm just a funny bloke.
Her favourite joke though is why did the toilet roll down the hill?
Yeah. Well, hang on. We should get her to tell it.
She's.
No. She'll come up at some point. We'll get her to tell that later.
Where is Buddy? Oh, he's down
Yeah.
there. Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
Okay, that was his. I fed him a bit earlier tonight, so he seems to have calmed down a bit quicker.
Although he's only done 1 wee outside today. Did he do one this morning outside?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's done 2 wees outside today.
Yeah,
'cause he
and then he
last
did a
night for
wee
walk.
on the
Yeah,
pads.
but I've taken him out twice today. You've taken him out a couple of times.
taken
He's done
him out.
nothing, has he?
Mm.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about Buddy. Sarah Balls asked a question,
Yes.
which is good. Was Gene Kelly an inspiration to you, James? Saw a great documentary last night about him. No, he wasn't. To be honest, I had no awareness as such, really, about dance outside of what I did as a child and as a young adult until I was in my early 20s, really. It wasn't until then that I actually really started to look at other dance forms and other people that dance to get any kind of inspiration. And I mean that in terms of other ballroom dancers as well. I really just thought of myself. I was very insular. Just thought of myself and my dancing. I didn't compare myself or aspire to be anyone else or be like anyone until I was a bit older, which was odd, really. Because many people watch something and then they're inspired by it. As a very small child, it was Adam and the Ants and Prince Charming that got me into dancing, but I was never inspired by anyone specifically.
So when you were a child dancing, presumably you saw adults perhaps dancing who were really good.
Yeah.
Did you not look at them and think, "I want to be as good as them one day"?
No.
No.
No, never at any point do I remember thinking that at all. Because
obviously where I grew up with my studio, I was the little ones, and then of course they had slightly older ones, and then they had the adults and stuff, and we all kind of like looked up to the grown-up dancers. I mean, they were probably like 17, but to me they seemed grown up. Dancing away and thinking, oh yeah, I hope to be as good as that one day, you know. But you didn't have that?
No.
Oh, there you go.
I remember my mum telling me stuff about... I remember there was these two older boys. They were junior boys. I was juvenile at the time. And she would say to me that you're going to... I think when you get older, you'll look like him, but you'll dance like him. So one was a slightly more fuller set guy, and the other one was smaller, a bit more lively. Yeah. But other than that, I never had any. Even then, I didn't really think, oh yeah, I really want to be like him.
No.
Never.
You just did your thing.
Yeah, I did. Honestly, I don't ever remember being inspired by anyone.
I do remember watching Singing in the Rain though. And watching the dancing and stuff like that, and liking it and all that sort of thing. I used to watch a lot of films and things when I was little.
I think it's different
when I
for
was
girls
little,
sometimes.
I started when I was 9, so I was quite a late starter actually. But yeah, from then I did watch a lot of dance type films, bit of Fred and Ginger, all that sort of thing. I think because my grandparents liked it, of course, as well. So. Anyway,
Ray says, I have often wondered in the professional dance circuit how hard it is to get sponsorship, and how does that apply in the amateur circuit? Near on impossible.
Very
Ray.
difficult.
Near on impossible. When we were competing as professionals, we didn't have. We did have a sponsor, but it was only for our shoes. We had Ray Rose Shoes who sponsored us, and we really basically had as many shoes as we wanted. As part of that deal, our job was to promote Ray Rose Shoes and try to sell them.
Which was easy for us because we really believe in their shoes.
Yeah, and
so
we had obviously an outlet. We had dancers that came to us, and we were the only couple, they said, that they sponsored that actually did their job.
Yeah.
That actually sold Ray Rose shoes. But we believed in the product. They were great shoes, and we still do. Of course. So we still have a great relationship with them. Other than that, we had nothing. We had I suppose a slight sponsorship with. I had a bit of a part sponsorship with my suit.
We would get part sponsorships, yeah. So
and a bit on her dress.
Effectively means discounts.
Just a little bit of a discount,
but it's not a full sponsorship.
Shoes were the only thing that we got given for free, and that wasn't straight away, was it? It was quite early on. It was quite early.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because actually Ray Rose were rejigging stuff, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was quite early on. Before Kelly and I got together, I was sponsored by Chris Ann. So Chris Ann at the time were the biggest dance.
Which they've done a lot of the Strictly stuff.
Yeah, did all the Strictly stuff. So we were sponsored by Chris Ann. So I got shirts, and my partner got her dresses for free. And that's because
it's
we were
actually harder nowadays, I think, isn't it? They're much more strict with it, whereas before they used to just give them a dress.
No, a lot of people wear the badge. Well, what happens? When you get to be sponsored in those days. We're talking 20 years ago. When you were sponsored by the companies, then you got to wear a badge and on your tail suit, and so it was a bit of a thing. If you had a badge on your tail suit, you felt kind of quite special. So I was in the top 24 in the world as an amateur, and I got a badge because of that level, that quality. I was top 6 in the country, top 24 in the world. So I was deemed to be one of the new generation of dancers coming through. So they wanted to promote and help us, and we were supposed to be the new couple. And so we got sponsored, and that was such a privilege. It was amazing. You felt.
Because didn't your partner get like 6 dresses?
She got as many as she wanted. She just
and these dresses are
new dress for every comp.
£2,000 like that,
Yeah.
aren't they?
So she'd wear it
So-
once and it'd be sold. So she'd wear it once for a comp, and then it'd be on a dummy somewhere, and it would be sold and got that. This is going back a bit,
Yeah.
of course. Now lots of people wear the badge, but that doesn't mean sponsorship like it used to. It now means that they might get 10% off or something like that, because these companies now just blanket the market. So pure sponsorship is very difficult.
Yeah.
You have to be really, really, really good, and even then, it's still not the same now as it used
I
to
think
be.
I think it's quite. I think there's things like if you don't sell the dress within a certain amount of time or
You've gotta
whatever,
pay
then
for it,
eventually you
that's
have to buy it and
Yeah,
things like
difficult.
that. So
It's tough.
it's a very difficult thing.
Yeah, and as amateurs, I mean, that was very lucky to have that as an amateur, which helped my partner more than it did me, of course, because it meant that
Well,
she
had to
she
your
had no
partner's
money.
parents.
Her partner's parents. She had no, they had no money anyway, so it was difficult. But other than that, nothing really, nothing at all. So I've had friends that were sponsored by an individual, and so they had like a contract with them where they would do comps and
It's
they
not
would
the
teach
same
them.
as sponsorship as such.
Well,
though,
no,
is it?
well,
'Cause
Grant
it's not
had
like
it.
they're
Grant
paying.
had it.
It's not like you're paying them to advertise you.
No, but they're I suppose they're a benefactor.
Yeah.
They're a benefactor, and there are other people that have that now as well. But sponsorship in the true sense of the word is very difficult because of the marketing aspect. It doesn't
You
go out
can't
to
really
the wider.
market. Yeah, you can't really market on a couple
No, it's very difficult.
because the badge was tiny, so no one really sees it.
Yeah.
But back then, of course, there wasn't the internet and stuff like that. So nowadays, I suppose in that respect, it's a bit easier to get some more exposure
Mm.
if you're good on social media. But I guess you've got to prove that you're good on social media.
Yes, true.
So
Yeah,
it's
true.
not just about the dancing anymore.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Chris says, "Have you ever lost your passion for dancing?" No, not really. There's been dips, I suppose, where I've thought, oh, can't be asked.
I don't think you ever
But
lose your
no,
passion.
never lost my passion. No.
I think you might get disillusioned.
Yeah.
You don't ever lose your passion, but you do get perhaps down.
Can I just say something?
Mm.
That ice smells funny.
Really?
Mm.
His nose is ridiculous.
That ice smells funny.
Does
Yeah, that ice. It does. It smells funny. It smells
It's
like
the gin.
no. It's not. It's the ice. It smells like freezer.
Well, it has been in the freezer.
Oh my god! What's happened? Is that the stuff
That's
that's
the glass. There's gold on the bottom of these glasses.
Real gold?
Not real, obviously.
No.
It's just come off. Mm.
Yeah, it's difficult to maintain a passion, I suppose, for what you do for a long time. But I think it changes, doesn't it, with you personally? As your career changes, your passion changes. Because when we were younger, our passion was just to dance. Then it was to be successful, perhaps, and to strive to be better. And then once you stop competing, your passion is then for your students and your business, to grow your business and be the best teacher that you can or best promoter that you can be. So it just changes a bit, but
Yeah.
there's always peaks and
The
troughs.
direction, I suppose, changes, and the motivation slightly changes,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah. Margaret Latta heard a joke the other day. She said it was, "What goes ha 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 bonk? A man laughing his head off."
That's quite good.
Wonderful. Yeah. Did you hear about the joke? Did you hear about the one? I'll start that again. Did you hear about the one about the lady who couldn't do a full dance lesson without going to the toilet?
This is not funny.
I won't carry that joke on.
Some dance teachers seem a bit biased towards younger students, but you don't. Why are you so perfect?
We are. Someone else talked to me about being perfect today.
As in, I guess, only teaching younger
We-
students. Is that what you mean?
I think the impression that Sarah gets is that we are more focused on our more mature students.
We are open to anyone who wants to learn.
Yeah. So we are this.
and wants to listen to us.
Yeah,
babble on about dance.
we are this passionate and energetic towards any age group. Really, it just so happens that we predominantly have a more mature group. I mean, when we had our studio, we were a little bit more not focused purely on the kids at all. We had more kids, of course, that we could
Yeah.
work on and work with.
We find it difficult to teach children when you haven't got a single venue to work from. I think
base.
kids need a base to work
Yeah.
from, and have that kind of school environment. When you're kind of hiring venues and trying
It's
to
not
teach,
the same at all.
It doesn't quite work the same
Not
for
the
kids
same.
in that way.
No.
So we found when we had the studio, and you get the kids come together, that grows more. And then of course if you have children from a young age and they grow and develop, they tend to grow and develop with you, you know, if they stick at it and you know, sort of become young adults, that sort of thing.
I'd love to have some young kids that we could teach to develop them and train them. I'd like to have anyone that we can train.
We're happy to teach anyone that wants to learn.
Yeah, but also we really do enjoy the social side of dancing. Perhaps sometimes a little bit more than the competitive side, because and now going into the pro-am side, because it's actually just a lot nicer.
I found the pro-am really refreshing, because when we competed, we talked about this before, it was really tough, wasn't it? It's quite a lonely thing to do. You're kind of very much on your own, you've got to fight your own corner and that sort of thing, whereas I find the pro-am is much more friendly and supportive, and it kind of, you know, what I wish we had when we competed, because there's no reason why it shouldn't have been. You know, at the end of the day, even though we're all professionals competing against each other, it should be fun. Even though there's an element of seriousness to it, because people put a lot of money and a lot of time and effort and everything into what they do. At the end of the day, the comp itself, the environment, everything should be fun, you know, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? It shouldn't be... I sometimes feel dancing gets taken a bit too seriously. Or people in dancing take it too seriously. It's just like, come on, just, you know, this is dance, you know.
You need to have fun doing it.
Yeah, and people should be more supportive of each other, because it's not an easy thing to do. So if we're all out there being more supportive, having more fun, I think it would have been a much nicer. Which for me, the pro-am shows that. Yeah,
pro-am's a great scene. It really is a great scene. Yeah. A couple of questions. Do any other members of your families dance? No, and no. No. My brother did dance. My younger brother, 6 years younger than me, he started. He was going to be better than me as well, actually. I think perhaps because he watched what I did and just took things on subconsciously. And he was better at his age than I was at that age, but he didn't stick at it. He didn't want to compete or anything like that. He didn't want a partner. So I think he stopped when he was 8 or 9 or something like that. He got his medals, but then he didn't want to compete. He wasn't interested. Went more into sports. None of your family's dancing? Do
no, I was the youngest girl, and I had 2 older brothers, so they were all football, as in rugby.
Well, Australian football.
Rugby league, no, not Australian football. That implies Australian.
Aussie Rules. Okay. But well, rugby league.
Yeah, so they were all that kind of thing, and so I was the only girl and the only dancer. I had my grandmother had a friend who lived next door to her, whose daughter was a dancer, and they were doing a local competition, and they took me when I was very young to watch, and then I sort of, you know,
don't spoil it, Kel, because we can do a little thing on that, can't we?
That's what got me into it, and my granddad talked about it a lot, because when they were courting, as they would have done back then, they were always going to little balls and things like that, so, you know, he used to talk about that a lot. He used to talk about the quick step and how difficult the lock step was and stuff. So yeah, those were my influences in getting into it. Yeah. But none of my family, other than that, you know, a little bit of social dancing from my granddad, actually danced.
Mine either.
My nana and granddad, yeah.
What's your workout routine to keep yourself fit? All of you. That's what keeps me fit. All of the people that I dance with.
At the moment, nothing.
At the moment, nothing really.
Yeah.
I've just been resting my body, but normally I don't need to do much else, because typically, don't take this the wrong way, everyone, but when I dance with all of my students, it's quite low output energy, and that's a real fat burner. So when you've got low energy movements and activities, it's fat burning, not cardiovascular. When I dance with Kelly, it's much more cardiovascular. And
I would actually be quite scared to dance with you now.
Yeah, you'd be knackered, wouldn't you?
Oh my god.
Properly.
It would kill me.
Properly.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps me fit. It's like going for a long walk every day. Sometimes off a short pier. Yeah. Off a short pier. But it's that's what keeps me going.
When we competed though, we did everything.
Oh, we did personal training as well, and strength training.
So
and
we did the gym. We did a lot of weight training, and we also ran a little bit as well. We didn't need to do a lot of running, did we?
No.
Because we were dancing all the time, but we did run as well. So a combination of things really between dancing, weights and running was what we did when we competed. We did get to a point where we were extremely fit, weren't we?
Yeah. Although, having said that, we were fitter once we'd retired.
From Insanity.
Yeah, that girl's even fitter. Because we were still dancing anyway, and then we did that as
that's
well.
true. That's true. Insanity got us very fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's quite insane.
It's hard. I've tried to pick it up again actually a couple of times, but not been very successful. Yeah.
Right, if there's no more questions, I think we'll crack on with tonight's little video, and then I'm sure you'll have some questions after that. Sure, you'll be questioning things, perhaps, and we'll reconvene afterwards, shall we, Kel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
We're
then
gonna
we're going to make some dinner.
Well, you're going to make some dinner.
Well, we're going to do it together,
You're going to make some dinner.
and then we'll
I'm
reconvene.
going to
So
talk to you and watch.
yeah, okay.
He's been making me dinner all the time.
I know, I'm a good boy. You made me dinner last night because I was processing this video.
It's very simple, wasn't it?
Yeah, simple, like yeah.
Like what?
I was going to say like you. You're not simple in the slightest, darling. You're very complicated.
I am.
You're very complicated. Okay, so we'll put the video on now. Hope you enjoy it. It's a bit of a different one. There's no dancing. Even if you're a gentleman, you might find it entertaining and interesting somehow, perhaps. I don't know.
Or you might want to go get a beer or something.
You might want to get a beer and let your good lady, if you've got one there with you, watch it on her own perhaps. But we'll see you in just over half an hour, and get your questions ready for the next section. See you in a bit.
Hello everybody and welcome to another Learn in 30 video with a difference. So today I'm not going to be teaching you any dancing, but Kelly will be giving you a wonderful makeup demonstration instead. She's got a fabulous glamorous model to make up.
I haven't got a model.
What do you mean you haven't got a model?
I haven't got a model.
Well, how are we going to do this without a model? You'll have to do it then. You have to put makeup on yourself.
I can't do it to myself. What's to use you?
Me.
Yes.
This is my not impressed face. I'm going to have to have a shave.
Hello everyone. Today we're going to do a makeup demonstration. We're going to look mostly at the skin because James is my model, so that'll make it interesting. And basically we just want to make the skin as beautiful as possible, whether it's for a more natural look or moving towards something of a dance competition. Let's get James in the chair. So, James has already washed his face.
Yep, nice and clean.
You need your face to be nice and clean and
And well shaved, actually. Clean shaven, I think, is a good start.
it needs to be nice and clean, and if you're a bit dry, you might even want to exfoliate. So if you've got a good exfoliator, you want to use that as well, because basically you want everything to be nice and smooth, okay? Then you also need to be moisturized, and for makeup, you don't want it greasy, but you do want it hydrated. So again, you want to eliminate any dryness, all right? So I'm just going to work some moisturizer into James's skin. He's a little bit dry.
That's because my moisturiser ran out.
He blames me.
Someone was using it.
Yeah, he blames me. I did use it for a while, but I've got my own now, which I'm using on you now.
And now mine's run out.
Yeah, we'll just get some more.
This smells too girly for me.
It's nice, isn't it?
Well, I think I'd like to smell it. I'm not sure if I'd like to wear it.
When you're putting moisturizer on, all over your face, but don't do your eyelids, okay? Because if you do your eyelids, your eye makeup will come off quicker. So don't do your eyes. It doesn't matter so much for what we're doing today. But,
Why am I not having any eye makeup?
well, you are, but you're not doing, you know, heavy kohl liner and stuff like that. Whereas if it was really moisturized around your eyes, then it'll all just come off.
I see.
And if you're dancing, dancers understand this, it just sweats off even more so. Makeup is temporary. When it says it lasts 16 hours or something like that, it's usually not true. Okay.
I don't plan to wear this makeup for 16 hours anyway.
I think you'll wear it for about 5 minutes. So you just let that soak in for a little bit, and then you get yourself ready. So what I'm going to start doing is using concealer. So what we want to do, James is a little bit red in places, a bit blotchy. A lot of people with fair skin are. So we're going to try and tone that down. And then we'll build up with the foundation, and then we're going to define the features like the eyes and the cheeks. Okay, so I am going to use concealers, which are pretty heavy duty, and we've got lots of different colours. Okay, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but we've got lots of different colours. And basically, if you're a little bit red in places, you might use, say, green. The green is a little bit cool, so I'm going to go for this one, which is a sort of yellowy green. So it's a little bit warmer, and it'll blend in with his skin better. Brushes.
I'll do a cut on that, and when we're finished, I'll film that.
Okay.
And then as you're talking.
So you can cut into that, yeah. And you do only need a small brush for this because we're going to be working around the eyes. So you only need a little brush and maybe in small parts of the face. Okay. So small amount on your brush, and then just dabbing on the areas. If you could close your eyes for me. Dabbing on the areas where you need to cover up. Okay. This is not about trying to cover you with lots of makeup. It's about trying to, well, essentially it's about making you look your best version of yourself. It's not about trying to change your face so you look completely different, because actually we don't want to do that.
I think some people might want to.
Some people do, yes. And some people do a really good job of it. I mean, makeup is amazing in that respect. You can do something where it looks like you're hardly wearing anything at all, which is just as skilled. Or you can do something where you change who you are completely.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Jemima.
I'm not going to do that to you because it might freak me out a bit. So yeah, basically we're going to work on the skin all over. It doesn't matter where, there's no scientific way, there's no, no crazy, magical way of doing this. It's just cover up bits that you want to hide away a bit. You're also a little bit red because you've shaved, aren't you? So actually,
yes.
It's a little bit red all over, whereas I think typically you wouldn't be. So I'm sure a lot of our ladies wouldn't have this issue.
Well, those that do know, we wouldn't know, of course.
And luckily, normally you don't show the client what they look like at this stage.
I guess that people would freak out a little bit, wouldn't they? If
They would
saw
think, what are you
themselves.
doing? They'd think, you don't know what you're doing.
I'm just looking at myself now in the viewfinder.
Can you see?
I can.
It looks funny, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's odd. It looks to me...
It looks like a child's had their way with your face, doesn't it?
It reminds me of when I was a child and I had chicken pox, and I think my mum covered me in calamine lotion.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, so all these chicken pox spots had little dabs of white, basically paint.
So I've gone in with quite a small brush, and then I'm going to use another brush just to blend it. So, just as a little tip, if you find you're quite dark under the eyes, something with a reddish or a pinkish tone, depending on how dark your skin is under the eyes, gets rid of that. And then you put your normal concealer on top of it. Okay, but James isn't actually very dark under his eyes. Maybe a little bit, but not very much at all, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So I've taken out the red, And then we're going to use a concealer is generally a little bit lighter than your skin tone, just to then go over the same sort of areas and you know, conceal up the bits that we typically like to conceal. You know, dark patches under the eyes, that sort of thing, redness, blotches and stuff. So yeah, this one, my most common one to use. We're just going to use.
Is that cherry blossom you're using?
Yeah, cherry blossom. Yeah. And yeah, I am going completely over the eye because essentially for today I'm not going to use any powdered eye makeup. And what it also does though is if you do it this way, if you do use powdered eye makeup to then do a fancy look, say for a competition or whatever, it makes like a primer on your eyelid to help that eye makeup stick.
So this is essentially the basis
Yes.
that you would do for any kind of makeup.
Any
So
kind
it's
of makeup.
it's everyday makeup.
Well, I mean, it's probably
well, no, it's a bit more than that. I
it's a
guess.
bit more detailed for every day. It's for anything where maybe you're going to be photographed, so weddings, or if you're going to be filmed, or if you're going to be performing, hence the competitions and stuff. So it's really just trying to get the skin to look as best as it possibly can. At the moment, it all looks a bit strange. That's all part of the process.
So not just my face.
No. It's all because it's about blending, blend, which is why it takes a bit of time. Okay. So if you're looking for a 5-minute look to rush out of the door, this is not it. That would be something else. But bear in mind, if you're going about your day-to-day business, you just need to look nice in real life. You know, the thing is about photographs and things is that, especially now being HD and all that sort of stuff, it picks up every little detail, hence why people use Instagram filters and stuff. So what we want to do is not have to do that. We just make our skin look as best it can without that. So yeah, if I'm not being photographed for the day, it's not really necessary to take these extra steps. But it might help you understand why you can't hide those dark circles under the eyes and things like that. It's like, well, actually, you know, if you really want to hide those dark circles and stuff, you need a bit of concealer, perhaps with a colour first, and then your other concealer on top. Okay, so I've blended most of that in now. Still looks a bit strange, but don't worry.
This is how the Joker wakes up every morning. This is his daily routine. Although he finishes now and then just paints his lips on, perhaps.
Now, when you're choosing your foundation, most of us only have one foundation, which is fine. I might do another video talking about choosing a foundation for yourself. Now, obviously, I don't have James's foundation on hand because he doesn't have one. So I have to make one.
Run out.
And more often than not, actually, we're not usually one colour out of a bottle. Usually we're two. So I'm going to mix two together for James today because he's not quite just one of these. He needs two. So I'm mixing up two foundations. James is quite red on. You're quite red under there, actually.
Yeah, that's probably where I've
Aw,
shaved and
bless.
it's irritating. I never shave, you see. I always just use a beard trimmer. So for this, for you, I've actually shaved my face. I haven't shaved my face. I can't remember the last time. I hope you're satisfied.
Anyway, so James is actually not too yellow and not too pink. So a lot of us tend to have more yellow pigment in our skin, or we might have more pink pigment in our skin. James is, he's quite even in those areas. So I'm mixing up some foundations that have a little bit of both. Otherwise, what can happen is sometimes it's not that the foundation's too light, it's just that it's too pink, for instance. So you want to make sure you've got enough yellow in there as well, so it blends in. So hopefully this will be all right. Blending in too. So there's no right or wrong. You can use fingers or brushes. I use a bit of both. So I usually like to dab a bit on with my fingers first. And you always want to start in the center of the face and work your way out, because you want more of the makeup here and then you want it to blend out. We don't want any obvious lines, you know, in your hairline or around your jawline or around the ears and things like that. So the idea is that it fades out so we don't see those. Okay. And you can start with a smaller brush or a bigger brush. I've got a bigger one too. Obviously I've got quite a lot of brushes. Not everyone has a lot of brushes, and you don't need a lot, you just need what works for you. And we're just working in the skin. These are quite heavy duty foundations. So they're sort of a medium coverage which builds up to a heavy coverage, which is good for competitions and the like. Again, good for photography, good for lasting longer as well. If you're not worried about those things, then I always think it's better to let your skin show more, because it looks more natural. When you're working with photography and stuff, obviously there's more lights and stuff. Like I think we talked about this with dancing, didn't we?
May have done.
Yeah, we talked about the lights and how they drown you out. Because someone asked about tanning.
They did, didn't they?
Why do dancers tan? Yeah, because the lights really, they drain you. And so that's why you have to wear extra tan and makeup and stuff.
So obviously you're into makeup. What got you more into makeup? I mean, I know that obviously as a dancer, you would have worn, you had to wear makeup, and that got you into it, I guess. But so what have you done with your makeup?
Well, not a lot in terms of learning how to put it on other people and stuff. Do you mean? I did a course. I think it was kind of like something to do after having Ella, really, because I wanted to just learn a new skill. And I was always interested in makeup because of dancing. And I just liked it. Did a couple of brides and stuff like that. It was just time wasn't really enabling me to put a lot of focus. And then we moved house and all that sort of thing, so it was a bit hard. But I've always liked makeup. When I was dancing, I was always obsessed with creating the entire look. So from makeup to the dress, everything, the hair. When you do comps, you start to get a bit, it's all part of the art, isn't it? So I haven't done much over here yet, obviously, so I'm going to fill in over here as well. You can see the difference already. So his skin's starting to look a little bit more airbrushed, let's say over here. And this is his natural skin. Obviously he's a little bit red from his shaving, but I think you can see the difference. So you can see I'm being very careful not to just slop on a lot of makeup all at once, because the last thing I want is too much to have to deal with, because it, you know, if you put too much on, all you can do is then just take it all off and start again. You can always keep building it up if there's not enough. Like I say, we don't want too much around the hairlines and stuff. We want that to get less and less, so it just seems seamless, so it seems as natural as possible. So even for a heavy look, I want it to look as natural as possible. So when I say heavy look, really what we're talking about is a look that lasts.
It doesn't actually feel like you're putting any makeup on. I mean, it does initially when you dab it on with your finger, but after that, it doesn't feel like there's any makeup on my face.
That's good.
Although having noticed myself in the camera now, I can see there's quite a lot of makeup on my face.
It is.
Yeah.
It's because it's built up slowly, and I'm constantly doing this. I mean, I'm constantly blending it in. That's why I don't just put a big splodge on and then try and blend it in, because it won't actually work.
Yeah.
Look up and over there. So normally if I was doing someone's makeup for say a wedding or even for a dance comp or whatever, you'd actually do all the eye makeup first and then you'd do your foundation and stuff like that. But because I wanted to show you what we're doing with skin, that's why I've started with foundation, because we're not going to do that much with we're not going to do that much with eyes. So once I've done that, I'm just going to tidy up his brows. So when you've just done foundation like that, what it does is it gives you this blank canvas almost, but it can make you look a little bit washed out. Okay, so what we need to do now is put more definition back into the face. So that's in the eyes, so the brows, definition around the eyes, around the cheeks and jawline and stuff. Now obviously James has got quite a strong jawline, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway, because a lot of ladies obviously have softer jawlines, so we want to know how to add some definition back. So we've got, you know, we've kind of blanked everything out. Now we're going to put definition colour back in. So I'm just starting with the brows. Always use a sharp pencil and really, really lightly go with the line of your brows. So the way they grow naturally is the way you want to draw. Okay. Because even though, of course, this is makeup, it's not natural, we don't want it to be obvious. And I do have to be careful on James because it could look a bit silly quite easily. Just adding a little bit, really, really little bit.
I have no plans to go out though today.
Obviously, again, for dancing, you would do something a bit different. Okay, so I'm not even doing a lot around here because, you know, James doesn't want a lot around there. All we're kind of doing is filling in some gaps here so it doesn't look sparse anywhere. So I'm going up where the hairs go up mostly, and then they might have a bit of an angle, and then they may go down naturally. Everybody's brows are different, of course. You can change the shape of them, but that would be a whole nother video. And if James were a lady, I might pluck a lot of that out.
You're not plucking my eyebrows.
There we are.
Ow! Cool, that one hurts.
Sometimes they do.
So vicious.
That's what us ladies
Vicious.
us ladies have to go through. Yeah, so that's good. So hopefully all you can see now is a little bit more colour and definition through there, but it shouldn't look too obvious. Okay, then we're going to define the eyes. So again, I want to use quite a small brush because the eyes are small. And I'm just using concealers. So my little concealer palette with all its different colours. I'm going to use that and choose a darker shade to his skin to add some definition. So I've got colour on the brush, if you close your eyes for me. And we've all got this crease. So I'm going to add some definition along the crease with the colour. And it's a bit like a windscreen wiper. Just back and forth and keep blending, keep blending, keep blending. Again, at first it's going to look a little strange, but we're really going to blend this out so that it won't really be noticeable, but you'll just have that definition there. Again, on this side. I'm also going to go along the lash line. Close those eyes again. So along the lash line, because that's where we get a bit of redness and stuff as well. I'm going to get my slightly bigger brush now and just blend those. Okay, you can open for me. And then we're going to do the same thing going underneath the lash line. This can, you know, tickle your eyes a bit. So if you look up and over that way, so you can get underneath that lash line. So that immediately looks better. Now we can't see redness around James's eyes, so it doesn't look like he's necessarily wearing foundation. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to do something similar around more of the face, so cheeks, jawline, nose, even up around here. So we go in with the darker colour. Okay, so I'm going to go under the cheekbone now with a darker colour. Again, this is just concealer, but a darker colour. So you do need to be able to see it. And obviously, for a dance comp, it can be a lot darker. But if you just want to look nice for the day, you might go a little more subtly, but I'm going to try and work this in quite a bit. So we get quite a bit of definition in there. So it's just under his cheekbone. I'm not going to go too far forward, you have to be careful of that. It's just under his cheekbone and working the way up. Try not to get it in the hairline again. And on camera this might look quite subtle, but in real life it's quite a lot. And we do the same along the jawline, so you want to add definition to the jawline so that in photos you're sort of creating a shadow there. Then we do the same sort of thing around the nose. Supposedly it makes your nose look smaller.
I've got a perfect nose.
You don't really need a smaller nose, no. Basically, this just makes your shape a little, face a little more angular. We may then just add a little bit of that definition up here. You can do this with bronzing powder. Okay, so again for a more natural look for every day, which I will do some tutorials on. Bronzing powder does the trick.
Can this make me look like I've got more hair as well?
No.
Oh.
They use other things for that, don't they? So again, this is kind of like just, it sounds weird, doesn't it? We've taken all the colour out and then we're putting colour back in, but where we want it.
But as you said before, it makes my skin look airbrushed.
Yeah.
So it gets rid of all the
It's
imperfections.
like having your Instagram filter put on, but with makeup instead of...
Mine's normally got silly comedy glasses and a beard.
Yeah.
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 So that's, can you do that with makeup?
No.
No.
Okay, so you might blend this all over with some powder and all that kind of thing. That's fine. I'm not going to do that today because we don't need to worry too much about that. I'm just going to do a little bit of mascara, very, very fine, and then I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting, more so for ladies, because ladies want to highlight their cheekbones and stuff. So highlighter on here, maybe the bridge of the nose. I'll show you that now. This is one of my favourite products. It's RMS. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Living Luminizer. And it's quite subtle as far as highlighters go, because some of them can be very shimmery, almost glittery, whereas this one isn't. So it lends itself to looking a little more natural. So above the brows. Along the cheekbones, this is where typically we might want it. This is what gives your skin the glow. When people talk about a glow, when your skin is glowing, this is what they use. Because what it does is those higher points on the face pick up the light. So then a product like this emphasizes that. So another one for ladies is Cupid's bow. Because you want those pretty lips, don't you? Maybe underneath, that gives you more of a pout. All important.
I've always thought my pout was very important.
All important for Instagram. You might even do it so it might be light, dark, maybe a little bit of light here. Do be careful. I mean, you don't want every part of your face to be jutting out, but just to give you the idea. So highlighters bring parts of your face out. Sort of bronzers and darker colours recede. That's the idea. Just a little bit of mascara now. You look down, but not. Oh, that's it. And you can blink if you need to, don't worry about it. James has got lovely long lashes. I'm only going to do a little bit on him. Okay, look up and over there. Okay. I think that's it. Obviously, ladies, you would add some lips and things like that. I'm not going to do that on James because it looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous. So I'm going to keep them natural for him. But yeah, that is a skin. So all we've tried to do is define his face where it is already defined, of course, but with heavy makeup, it can wash your face out, so it's important to put some of that definition back in. So we've done eyes, crease of the eyes, under the cheekbones, just around the hairline, jawline, maybe around the nose a little bit. Okay, and then what you would always do is just go and have a look around and touch up any bits that you might have missed. But that is a basic skin foundation look, and then from here, I mean, you might not do that with the eyes if you were doing heavy eye makeup. You can build it up, so you can add your eyeliners and you can add colour to the cheeks, lips, that sort of thing. But this is all just about skin.
And there we go, my face done up, ready to hit the streets. Perhaps not in that way, not such a good thing. But a base foundation for all of you lovely ladies and gents out there that you can work on and work from to develop a fabulous face, if you haven't got one already.
Thank you everyone. I hope you found that useful and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure you can see the difference in James's skin from how we started to where we ended up with. Obviously this isn't a look for Sainsbury's, maybe Waitrose. If you'd like to see more of this, we can do more in the future, so see you in the next one.
So there we go everybody, a little
Okay, yeah.
makeup video.
We're back.
We're back. I
was reading the comments.
Yes, so yeah. Do I sympathise with women having to go through this every day? Well, I don't think...
Oh, you wouldn't do this every day?
We do that every day, would you? No.
This is more kind of, let's say, for special occasions and stuff. So, dance competitions, it's a base for that. And then, let's say you're going to a wedding, maybe you're mother of the bride, maybe you're the bride or whatever. It gives you an idea of what a makeup artist might do for a bride for her day, you know. So it's extra steps, of course. Yeah. Not your everyday thing.
It's definitely more detailed than I would do on a daily basis.
It's definitely more detailed. I mean, I don't wear a lot of makeup on a daily basis at all. So, yeah, it's only really for dance comps that I put a lot of effort in. Or, yeah, if I'm going somewhere nice, you know, out to a dinner dance or something like that. Sarah, the highlighter is by RMS. Can't remember what that stands for, but you should find it's called RMS Beauty, and it's a living luminizer. And I think they have a couple of different shades.
Do you know what we'll do?
Yeah.
I'll get you to do a follow-up written blog, perhaps, about that.
Yeah, I'll write it all down in something for you.
And we'll link to it so that you can see what she did and stuff,
but
if you're interested, of course.
That brand is really, really nice because it's all completely natural ingredients and stuff. So she's a lady that set out to make makeup that wasn't full of, nasty stuff.
Mother of the groom as well, Sigrid, yes.
Mother of the groom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mother of the anything. Father of the anything as well. You can be the bloke. It doesn't matter.
I did find it weird putting makeup on you.
Why?
Well, that kind of makeup anyway. It's not what you would normally do for a man who's perhaps going on TV, because obviously they do wear some makeup and stuff on television. It would be even more pared down for that, but yeah. I wanted it to obviously benefit the ladies if you're wanting to do a bit more. Yeah.
Yes, please. More makeup with James.
blend. Yeah, you got to keep blending. I mean, looking at back, I think I could have blended even more. So I've always applied foundation with my fingers. There's no right or wrong. It's what works for you. Fingers is absolutely fine. Sometimes you just feel that some foundations work better when you can work them in with your fingers, and some work better when you use a brush. Obviously, if I'm working on somebody else, I don't really want to get my hands that dirty, so using a brush is just cleaner. But with brushes, and you can get lots of different type of brushes, it's just how it finishes up, and you just, it's kind of like anything, you get your favourite knife that you use for cutting with, you get your favourite pair of scissors or whatever. For hairdressers, will always, choose the scissors that work for them. It's just about finding the brush that works for you. There's no right or wrong. But if fingers work really well with you, and some foundations I just use fingers and work it in with the fingers, that's absolutely fine.
I think you've awakened a bit of a beast here.
What, in me?
For yourself, yeah, they have in you, and you have in yourself, really.
Yeah.
That you've made a rough of your own back. I think you're gonna have to do more of these videos.
Oh, I'll happily do more. Yeah. But very
She
nice.
says that now, and yet trying to get her in front of the camera was horrific.
I don't like being in front of the camera.
The intro that she did and the outro that she did were re-records because she didn't like the first ones.
It's like pulling teeth to get me to be happy with.
We did the first ones, and I processed it all, got it all in the video. No, don't like those. We've got to do those again. And we did them on a different day. So it's difficult. And I had other footage that was of side footage where just you can see Kelly as she's applying the makeup. No, none of that was any good.
No, not allowed to use that.
No, not allowed to use that. So it's difficult, but you're gonna have to do it now. Everyone wants it.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll do more. Because
Yeah.
obviously, probably what I'd like to do is cover things like, well, how to do your eyes natural, and then how to perhaps do them for a dance comp. Just a basic idea for a dance comp. Yeah. And it is different. I hate to say it is different if you're working on young eyes compared to someone who's more mature. It is a little bit different, but the basic principles are still there.
So I've obviously got very young eyes and very young skin. My skin, Kelly said, it's like working on an 18-year-old. So what can I say?
You do have good skin.
Yeah, it was blotchy though, wasn't it?
You'd
blotchy.
shave. You're not like that today.
No, not at all. No.
You're a little bit.
Slightly stubbly today. I had to shave. Actually, I had to shave twice for that.
But because
I had to do a test run, so I had to shave, and then I had to shave again a day and a half later, which is terrible for my skin.
But
Awful.
it was quite good because I think they could see what a difference it can make. If you've
got
a breakout of
Yeah.
redness or whatever, it can all be covered up and stuff. So, but yeah, you need quite heavy stuff for that.
Why, if the eyes are creamed, will the makeup come off easily in comparison to the rest of the face areas?
Well, if you put your eyes, the skin around your eyes tends to be a little bit more oily anyway. So if they're oily and then you add moisturizer to them, any eye makeup that you put on, whether it's a concealer base or whether it's powder, is just gonna move around. So I will do one where Actually, I'll start with the eyes first so you can see how that happens.
You're not using me for that.
No.
Oh, I don't really want proper
No,
eye makeup on.
I don't. Yeah, no, it'd be difficult on you actually.
Yeah.
But
Or
yeah,
get someone in for
so,
that.
Yeah, you want the eyes to almost be a little bit more dry because they have. Yeah, even if you just feel your eyes, you'll notice they tend to be a bit oilier. Not the skin on your face is not the same all around. You will find that some areas will feel more dry, some will feel more oily. Obviously, you've got the T-zone that is more oily, so you don't want to treat it all the same. You might put more moisturiser on some bits and less on others. Yeah. There you go. Do you do private consultations? Well, I haven't done, but I probably can. I'm starting a new business, darling.
Well, you did this course quite a while ago with the view to having a side. You know, so the idea was that we'd have the dancing and then you'd have the makeup as well.
Yeah.
And it never really happened, did
I
it?
think
Because
because,
circumstance, it just never really kicked off.
Because I started to do it, and then we moved house, and that became very stressful and
You just never got into it again, did you?
all-consuming. Really? And then when we moved in, it was just like, okay, let's just get settled.
Then she kind of forgot.
And then we're still not settled.
Yeah, she kind of forgot that she'd done makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely, private consultations.
Yeah. Yeah. But I say I'm still learning about things myself because I only really just started it, you know. But I have used makeup since I was little because I had to because of dancing. So. You don't think you could remove dark circles? Ah, well, we can have a go. You never know. Yeah.
Of course you can get rid of them. Of course you can.
You can't get rid of them permanently, no.
Not permanently, but
you
in a
can,
makeup side.
You can
sense.
lessen them and make them look a lot better.
Yeah. Nice little sideline, Kelly, apparently, says Baps. Nice little sideline.
Could be, couldn't it?
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there's interiors.
Yeah, because she's doing interiors as well. I don't know if any of you have seen her interior work. So while she's had some time, she's been doing interiors on a budget.
Yeah.
Mostly our interiors.
Well, I've got
Bedroom's next, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to do the bedroom next.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I think I might have said before that on Kelly's Instagram page, I didn't even recognise my own home at all. I just
It's funny.
didn't recognise.
It looks a lot tidier in the pictures.
Yeah, didn't recognise it at all.
That's because you can cut bits out.
Yeah. So has anyone got any more dancing related questions? I mean, I appreciate that we've just had a makeup little demonstration,
Yeah.
so it's all about makeup and stuff. And well, basically it's all ladies that are responding. No fellas have responded at all.
I wouldn't have thought so, no.
No, well, Kevin Bloomer, but it's not.
But that's
Kevin.
Linda.
It's Linda.
Yeah.
And I noticed Ray's very quiet. Ray's very quiet about that.
He's gone for tea.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. And an amazing thing is I got all of the dinner cooked in that in that time.
Oh, something I want to say is as well with the because I don't know if I really said that in the video, with all the definition and stuff. If you want to soften that so it looks more natural, is your bronzing powders. You can use those, so it doesn't have to be the cream sort of products that I used. You can just use simple little bronzing powders. They work in a similar fashion, and it's a bit softer for every day. So the same sort of thing applies. But yeah. So the thing is with makeup, there's no absolute rules. You can play around with it and do what works. And just because one product says, oh well, this is, you know, you can get blushes that are like a liquid. You can use them on your lips. You can use them on your eyes if you want. You know, it's all interchangeable, and things can be played around with. So I think the thing with makeup is to have a play.
Always have a play.
See what works.
I think that works with life.
If it doesn't work, take it off, start again.
I do that with my clothes.
What do you mean?
Take them off, start again. Don't work. Ros Canning says, when we are allowed out, because she's not allowed out, she's on house arrest, will you do makeup appointments so we can have it done for a night out?
Yes.
Yes, you've done that before anyway,
I have
haven't
done
you?
that before.
Done that before.
Yeah, so I've done it for girls going out on the town, and so I did a couple of brides, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Usually for a bride, of course, you have a trial because you want to get it absolutely spot on for the day. But yeah, if it's a night out or something like that, then yeah, we can do that sort of thing.
Yeah. That's it.
I'd have to buy new stuff for my kit.
Ray says makeup for men was a big thing in the 80s. I think it's still a big thing anyway, Ray,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. I'd like to do some creative stuff because the 80s was quite creative.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they wore it around their eyes a lot, didn't they? That's the New Romantics wore a fair bit
Yeah,
of
sort
makeup.
of like the David Bowie
Yeah.
lightning
Yeah.
bolts.
Yeah.
and-
Are you suggesting then, Ray, or are you maybe admitting that in the 80s you were perhaps partial to a little bit of Max Factor?
Donning a bit of eyeliner.
Yeah. I have to say, when I washed it off the other day, it left like little black marks under my eyes, and I thought that looked quite cool, actually. It looked quite cool. If I was going out and, I don't know, portraying, I don't know. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that I'm going to start wearing makeup.
Well, more men do wear makeup these days, for sure.
I remember it when I was younger and going out. Yeah, I remember seeing men with makeup,
Yeah.
dancers especially.
Yeah.
Lots of dancers
Yeah.
would go out with makeup. Male dancers would go out with makeup on.
Yeah.
At the time I thought it was a bit weird. What are you going with makeup on for? You don't need to wear makeup. They had like a little pimple. They cover it in their partner's blusher or whatever.
Yeah.
They weren't, and they weren't men of a certain persuasion. They were just really vain.
I think dancers become very self-conscious. They do, because they're putting themselves out there all the time. Yeah. Oh no, Margaret, I've just straightened it. That's all. So it looks a lot neater and tidier. Normally I don't even brush it. So
Normally she doesn't even have a shower.
And I'm
doesn't
not
even
lying.
bother.
During lockdown, normally I just wash it and let it dry, and I don't even bother brushing it or anything. But I actually put some effort in this week.
Yeah, I thought it was about time, really. She showed some effort. Showed a bit of effort. After seeing you in makeup, Ray says, we must have a chat about our upcoming dance lesson. Are you implying, Ray, that if I wear makeup, you can't have lessons with me? Is that what you're suggesting? I promise I'll wash it off before I come and see you.
It's my fault. I forced him to do it because I wouldn't do it.
Let's be
myself.
honest. Let's be honest. Actually, it was my idea. It was my idea, wasn't it?
I find it easier. I don't want to use myself because I don't like being on camera anyway. But also, I find it easier to put makeup on someone else. So, yeah. Obviously, I can't really get a model in at the moment. So,
No.
you are the guinea pig.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I'm always game for a laugh. And I thought it would add a nice angle to the video anyway, if it was me. Besides, it gave me a chance to have a funny little intro. Didn't it? The funny little intro. Which she really didn't want to do.
Yeah.
I had other plans, other ideas. No, none of that. No one would be silly on camera. So we had to have her off camera. Because she was going to be on camera. Then she had to be off camera.
He has to work hard to get me on camera.
Oh, so difficult. So difficult. Is image, well actually is imagine. Imagining is very important to both of us. I'm
Image.
guessing you meant to write is image important to both of you. Yes and no. I'm not overly concerned. I like to be presentable and turned out, but I'm not too concerned about the image I'm portraying. I feel that I'm very comfortable in my skin now. It didn't used to be when I was younger, but now it's you take it or leave it, to be honest, as I am, to be honest. You are a bit more conscious of yourself.
Oh yeah, but that's just because I'm self-conscious, I suppose, a bit
Unhappy with yourself.
Yeah. I think being a dancer from a young age does that to you a little bit. You become very aware of yourself, and then you start to compare yourself and that sort of thing. And
Well, we talked about that the other day, didn't we? About the comparisons in dance and how it's so subjective. It's difficult to not let that creep into your own personal life as well, when you're not even being
But
judged.
I suppose when I was younger, it was more to do with how I looked. Now it is more to do with health. So it does come from a better place now, for sure. And yeah, no, there is a certain maturity in that as well, I think. For sure. Definitely, I'm not worried about image in terms of, oh, have we got the latest, you know, I mean, I love handbags. That is a little thing I like. But I'm not worried if I have the latest one. I don't have to have the latest fashions or things like that.
That's nice to hear. I'm glad we've got that on record as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I don't want them.
Oh, okay.
I just don't have to have the latest one. So I'm not interested in the latest trends in order to be...
Well, no, you
image
don't
conscious.
want the latest trend. You want something classical and old.
I love classic stuff.
So,
yeah.
and that is more expensive.
Usually, yeah.
The thing that you want
I'm harder to please.
for your
there.
40th birthday.
Yeah. I don't want it for my 40th, I want it now.
Well, I know. Well, that gives me a little bit of time. That gives me
Anyway.
15 years to save up.
Oh, I'm not that young. Anyway,
Yeah.
so in terms of, I think, but dancers do get a little bit image conscious, don't they?
Yeah.
So they sort of like try and wear designer stuff.
Yeah.
And all that kind
Well,
of
we
thing.
talked about that, didn't we? To try and
Yeah.
portray a certain image.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
not.
I'm much less worried about that now than when
Yeah.
we competed and stuff. I don't. And now I'm just like, whatever.
However, I still want to look good in a pair of speedos.
Yeah, I still want to be presentable as well.
Because-
If I go to a comp,
Yeah.
where even if we're
Yeah.
just watching, I still want to look nice.
Yeah. Because I'm obviously back on the comp circuit when I do the pro-ams. And so you're still surrounded by active professionals and active amateurs and that sort of thing. So some of these comps are abroad and it's nice weather. You get a chance to go to pools and that sort of thing. So I don't want to sit in a pool, or beside a pool, next to some amateur kids or some competing pros that are body beautifuls, and I'm there with me pot belly. That's no good. But so I still want to try and look. I still want to, but that is related to health again anyway. Still being fit, still being healthy.
Health is more important for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like the maturity comes with a certain acceptance of certain things with age. You know, you're not going to be the way you were when you're 18, but
Well, I
you
don't know
still-
that. I will. I am.
you
I'm
could-
better than
you
I
might
was
be
at 18.
better. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Style is more important than fashion, apparently. Margaret Latter says.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Margaret's always quite stylish. She often has matching earrings and shoes. Sometimes with a handbag too. Yeah. And apparently Ray says no, it's the opposite. Oh, that's good. Well, that's good to hear, Ray. That's good to hear.
He wants you in makeup.
You, yeah. Does that mean you want me to wear makeup to your lesson? I'm slightly concerned. I'm going to make sure that Kelly's teaching at the
I may
same time.
have read into that the wrong way.
All right. Oh, it's so harsh. If Kelly likes classic and old, is that why she's married to you?
Oh.
No. No, it's not.
He's not that classic.
I'm far from classic and old. To be honest, having had a shave, I look like a schoolboy. Like a child.
He does look quite young when he shaves.
Yeah. No one would guess that I'm 56, would they?
And I'm 15 years away from being 40.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
No one would think. No one would believe that I'm 56. Yeah. I'm not 56. 28. Not a day older.
We met when we were quite young.
We were very young, youthful, very youthful. Well, if there's no more dancing related questions, I'm going to have my dinner because it's cooked, it's ready, it's in the pot.
You're quite proud of yourself. You've done that.
I'm very pleased I did it in time. Yeah. So it's just to let you know, because I know some of you are always interested. It's a pasta dish.
We've talked about it before.
It's one we've had before. It's a bit of a Friday night thing. I like to cook it on a Friday night. So
It's quite rich though.
It's quite rich. It's a cheese dish with obviously dairy cheese alternatives for us. That's all it is though. Pasta boiled up. Keep the water. Reserve it. Pop
I
some
want to try some other
vegan butter.
Some of the other dishes from
Some
that
stuff.
book.
Mix it up with some spices and herbs. Put the pasta back in. Add the vegan cheese. Mix it all up. Done. Bosh. Delicious. A little bit of white something with it. White drink. Lovely. Lovely. That's what we're going to do now. Watch probably some kids' cartoons because our daughter's still awake and we've only got one telly, so we can't watch anything else while she's still awake.
Dogs collapse though behind us.
Because he's very subdued.
Yes.
Buddy, come and say hello. Come on, buddy. Come on.
No, leave him alone.
Look at him. No, get him. He's alright. Wake him up. He's got to go downstairs in a sec.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
oh there he is.
There we go. He's waking up.
No, he's just moved his head.
There we go. No, yeah.
No, he's just going to shuffle
Come on, buddy. Come here.
and lie down again.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Bless him.
Yeah.
He's only a puppy.
He is only a puppy still. And
He's losing his teeth.
pooing outside as well, which is great.
Yeah, we're getting a bit better.
I mean,
on
we're not quite
that.
there with Kelly and Ellie yet, but Buddy's pooing outside, which is a bonus.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So things are beginning to look up a little bit. So private lessons next month are guaranteed. We can do those, providing on the 29th of March they say we can. And then classes from the 17th. We're still going to keep our online classes, just to let you know, though. So for that period of time. So from the 12th until the 17th of May, we're still going to do Wednesday nights at 7 and this Friday night slot as well. This slot might change slightly. We might not have a recorded segment because if we're then teaching and doing private lessons as we were previously, time is a bit tricky. And if I'm honest, I'll be knackered. I physically won't have the energy or the time to teach and then process the videos and that sort of thing as well. So it just takes a bit of time. So we might not have the recorded segment. But we're still going to try and keep bringing that like a group session to you all whilst we can't do that in the flesh.
But we might still come and have a drink and a chat.
Oh yeah, we'll still come and have a drink and a
on
chat.
A Friday night.
I think people quite like this, don't they? They still quite like it.
If you want us to, or you can tell us to.
Well, if you don't like it, we won't bother.
Shut up.
Won't bother. I don't know what the numbers are tonight. So.
It's never very
high.
high.
It's not bad. It's almost as many as Joe Biden had the other week for his live stream.
You're terrible.
It's almost as many as he had. So that's not too bad, is it? It's not bad for the most popular president ever.
Yeah.
It's not bad, is it? Not bad. So we're going to leave it there for now. And what day is it? Friday. Yeah, Friday. Next week, I don't know what we're going to do yet. I don't think we'll do another makeup video because I don't think we want 2 of those on the trot.
Plus, I'd have to use you again.
You'd have to use me again. I don't really want another shave for another year at least.
For what I would need to do next, you're not suitable.
Not suitable. And Ella wouldn't sit still long enough. That'd be funny though to do Ella.
She's not suitable either.
Or Buddy's too hairy. So I'll try and come up with something dancey for next week. If not, we might just have a chat for an hour, rather than
answer questions.
Yeah, proper question answer.
We can go back.
I do have something in mind. I have started something. It's whether or not I'll get the chance to finish it next week because it's quite a big project that I'm working on for you all. But I didn't plan for it to be part of the Friday nights. It was meant to be a thing on its own. So I could use a segment of it perhaps. So you don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I think so.
Yeah. Do you want to whisper?
No.
No? Okay. Sure.
I like whisper bars. Can't eat any.
No, they're awful. Terrible food. Terrible food. Don't eat a whisper.
No,
terrible food. Terrible food.
You told me about those.
Whisper Golds?
Yeah.
I know, they were nice, but back when we were naive, you've broken it.
I touched something.
You've broken it. Anyway, right, we're going to go now. We're going to have dinner. You can all go and relieve yourselves.
Have your dinner.
And we will see you next week. Don't forget, Matteo and Jessica are online Sunday night from 6:30 for a couple of hours. Tuesday, they're back again with a little bit of stretching, and then I'm with you on Wednesday for the Zoom class. Thursday night is Latin Fusion, and next Friday, we're here again for a question and answer session. There we go. Don't forget, if you do go online and watch our videos on YouTube, the makeup video we've just done will be online for you to watch momentarily. Please do like it if you watch it on YouTube, and if you can, make a comment.
Click the little thumb up.
Click the thumb up and add a comment, even if it's just great, loved it.
Yeah.
It just really helps us.
Or if you've got a question, put it in the comments.
Yeah, if you've got a question, put it in the comments as well. Yeah. It really does help us enormously. You might think it's so innocuous just by doing a like and making a little minuscule one-sentence comment, but it really does help their algorithms to push our videos up. And ultimately, the higher we go up those algorithms and rankings, we might hit, I don't know, £70 for a year in ad revenue, which would be great. That'd be marvellous. So if you can, that would be super duper. If you can't, don't worry. We won't hold it against you. Maybe we will. Maybe is that still on?
That's on now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to go now. I've had enough. I'm hungry.
Take care, everyone.
It's good night from me.
It's good night from him.
And we'll see you next week. So thanks very much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.
Bye.
Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Bye now.